Hi, I'm Cole Spivey, and I'll be reading from Backstage. And this is basically one called Brian Cox would have won over 200 IMD credits without this piece of acting advice. I'm sorry, he wouldn't have won over 200. While Emmy winner Brian Cox is best known for playing varied film and television roles since 1965, a list of over 200 titles that includes the X-Men and Jason Bourne series, indies like Adaptation and Running with Scissors, and most recently HBO's Rich People Behaving Badly hit Succession. The Scottish-born UK-trained actor has returned to Broadway once a decade since making his New York debut in 1985. This year, he stars as President Lyndon B. Johnson in The Great Society, a new play from Tony Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright Robert Schenken from All the Way. Here's one of the questions. How did you first get your equity card? I've had a UK equity card for, nearly 27, make that nearly 57 years. I got my American equity card, I think, when I did Strange Interlude at the Netherland Theater in the 1980s. That's a long time, 57 years with an equity card. I got my EMC card, Equity Membership Candidate card, which is like an equity card. It's basically the first part of the equity card back in 2005 when I played the Gander in Charlotte's Web at the Dallas Children's Theater, and they paid me about $1,000. And I've had that EMC card for about almost 15 years. This guy's had his equity card for 57 years. Woo. What is your worst audition horror story? This is what he says. One of the first auditions I didn't understand audition protocol whatsoever. This was an audition that I did when I had just left drama school, and I did it with an actor called Matthew Guinness. He was Alec Guinness's son. Use the force, Luke. Now, Matthew and I were at Lambda together, and we got this audition for Bristol Old Vic with a famous director called Val May. And it was my idea to do a scene together. And I said, they're so bored of seeing people coming in. Why don't we just go and do a scene together? So we did, A Man of All Seasons, and he played Richard Rich, and I played Thomas Cromwell. We went down to the set, and it was the Criterion Theatre in London, and it was a set of a play called The Severed Head. And all the furniture was nailed down, so we couldn't move anything. And we did this audition, and suddenly the director said, "Thank you." And I stopped, and I said to Matthew, "What did he say?" And he said, "Thank you." And I said, "Oh, really? Okay, well, let's go on." So we went on, and he said a second, and I said, "Thank you." And I said, "Oh, that's fine. Thank you for what?" And he said, "That's fine." And I asked, "Oh, what's fine?" And he said, "We've seen enough." And I said, "Oh, already. All right. Well, I would now like to do Edmund from King Lear." And Matthew's going to do, and the director goes, "No one. No. We've seen enough." And I said, "Oh, really? But we haven't finished." And then he said, "Yes, you have finished. You finished. Believe me, you finished." Now that was an experience. And I was so young, I didn't know about the audition protocol. So this was kind of funny. It was directed, sorry, I was doing some exploration. It was written by Benjamin Lindsay in September 25th, 2019 on Backstage. So this is a Backstage reading about Brian Cox wouldn't have over 200 IMDb credits without this piece of acting advice. So Brian Cox is an actor, and he has over 200 imdb credits. That's Internet Movie Database credits. It's a lot. That's 200 is a whole lot. But he's been very active in, and it's a long, long article. What advice would you give yourself, or to your younger self? And he says, be true to who you are. Also, one of the problems for actors is anticipating. Okay, they panic about success. They panic about whether it's working for them. They panic about all kinds of things you're not in control of. My mother had a great saying, which is a Scottish saying. If you translate it, it's for you. It would not go by you. I don't know, that's... but anyway, it's translated as, if it's for you, if it is for you, it will not go by you. And I believe that. I believe that so many actors have to embrace that a little bit more than they do. So if it's for you, then it will not go by you. So you'll catch it. And it's always going to be out there. So, and sometimes you'll meet an actor where they're trying too hard in their career, and it's always going to be out of their grasp. So there's always going to be something that's going to be out of your grasp. And what they want to do is to just sit in their truth a bit more, and just be a little bit more, and allow it to come to them. And of course, it's a natural thing because it's such an insecure profession. So people tend to try to chase things that aren't really there. But when you chase something, the more you chase it, the further away it goes. And the best thing to do is not to do that. Just sit with it. Sit in your truth and fail. Don't worry about failing. So in a way, I would see that as kind of like relax. You know, relaxation is very, very important in any type of acting situation. Relaxation is probably the most important thing, because everything else can come from the relaxation. If you're truly relaxed, you'll be okay.